So back to consumer behavior. I mean,
Mhm.
every property is going to be a little different. Properties in different geographies are going to be different. What you're in Vegas, what's going to be happening in Vegas is going to be different than, I mean, New York's probably going to be coming out of this before Vegas, maybe.
Maybe.
So revenue managers need to really be, like you said, looking at consumer behavior and where it might go, looking at, maybe articles and data from other countries, whether it be China or when Europe starts to move, resort towns versus business travel. I know, big debate, which is going to be first in the US, let's say. Is it going to be business travel or leisure?
Yeah, I think, and that you're right. That is, it's going to end up being a market by market, state by state kind of, I think, process there. And so, as a revenue manager, part of your role is to understand your market and understand the dynamics of that market. So we have interesting discussions here in Vegas. Obviously, we're a big convention town, and so when group business comes back, it's really important to us. And we're seeing extremes on both ends. We're seeing some groups that are saying we're not going to have any in-person meetings for 18 months until there's a vaccine. We're just we're going to live in a virtual world. And then we're seeing other groups that had planned to be here over the summer and are looking for dates in the fall. And so there's postponing in addition to kind of change of business. So there's we're feeling hopeful that if all the social distancing worked in the best case scenario, and the reason why we're sort of all going through this, we may stand to have a good fall. We're also pretty, optimistic about gaming segments out here. We know people love to gamble, and they've been not only, limited from that, from the stay at home, but also no sports betting, so I think there's a lot of, potentially some pent up demand there. So assuming that, the financial system doesn't just crumble beneath us, we feel good about that. That's unique to this market. If you have some folks are betting that if you have a good drive-in business, you may recover faster than those more fly-in markets. People may be nervous about getting on planes. So I think you do have to scenario plan a little bit too, and then try to define what those leading indicators for your market might look like. And when you start to see those signs, you can kind of pivot to that. So,
and another reason to be talking with sales is keeping track of those people postponing their events into Q3, Q4. What's the likelihood they're still going to happen?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think, that this would be a time when you're really trying to put all those puzzle pieces together with sales, that communication becomes even tighter because, they are, fall for Vegas is a busy time already. So now you're just trying to slot everybody in where they, potentially could go, and what are the chances, what do we think the landscape on the leisure and gaming side would look like for us, for example. But I imagine those conversations are happening, in city centers and convention markets across the country, in addition to those groups that are really being cautious and saying, no, you know what, we're going to cancel for this year, or we're going to cancel for whatever the duration is. And, that's a company by company decision. I don't think there's a right answer on that one either. I mean, you just have to kind of, go with the best information you have. But yeah, that you're 100% right. That tight communication, I think, becomes even more important when things are shifting all the time.